You say you've been waiting. You said nothing's working. You pray. You hustle. You hold back your anger. You stay silent through the storms, but nothing is changing. So you start asking, why me? Why now? Why not them? Let me tell you something your nafs doesn't want to hear. Patient sabr is not weakness. Sabr is power. Sabr is strategy. Sabr is the path of every prophet who ever lived. And sabr is the only way you will survive this dunya and enter Jannah with dignity. Sabr doesn't just mean waiting. Sabr means holding the line when your soul wants to collapse. Sabr is when you want to lash out, but you stay silent. When you want to sin, but you lower your gaze. When you want to quit, but you stay standing alone if you have to. Sabr is three types in Islam. First, sabr in obedience to Allah. Praying Fajr in the cold. Fasting when you're exhausted. Giving zakat when you're broke. Second, sabr in avoiding sin. Lowering your gaze, biting your tongue, deleting that message. Third, sabr in calamity. When your heart breaks, when you betray, when the doors don't open. Each one is a test. And Allah promises in the Quran, indeed Allah is with the patient. He didn't say Allah is near the strong or Allah is with the rich. No, Allah is with the patient. With you. Let's be honest. Patience is hard because it makes no noise. Lust is loud. Anger is loud. Arrogance is loud. But patience, it's silent, invisible, boring to the nafs. The world doesn't reward patience. It rewards those who react, who chase, who show off, who scream. But Allah sees you when you don't react, when you let go, when you say, Hasbunallahu wa ni'mal wakil. And that silence, that stillness, it is more beloved to Allah than 1,000 empty words. Think you're the only one waiting? Yusuf alayhi salam sat in a prison cell for years, falsely accused, betrayed by family, forgotten by the world. But he never said, why me? Ayub alayhi salam was sick, broke, alone for years. Yet he never blamed Allah. He said, indeed, I have been touched by adversity, and you are the most merciful of the merciful. And look at our Prophet Muhammad, peace be upon him. Boycotted, mocked, bleeding, praying all night, buried 6 of his 7 children. And still he said, Ya Allah, forgive my ummah. This deen was built on the backs of patient men, not quitters. So don't say you following the Prophet if you fold at every delay. Patience is not just a spiritual concept. It's the foundation of discipline, of focus, of greatness. You want to build a business? You need sabr. You want to transform your body? You need sabr. You want to memorize Quran? You need sabr. You want to control your ego? You need sabr. Allah didn't say sabr is a gift. He said, and we made from among them leaders guiding by our command, when they were patient and when they were certain of our signs. Leadership is given to the patient, not the loud, not the talented. The patient, that's the secret. Nobody claps for you when you're patient. When you bite your tongue, when you control your desires, when you keep praying, even when your du'as feel unanswered. But in the unseen, something huge is happening. Every act of patience is recorded. Every moment you held back written in ink of honor. Those who patiently persevere will truly receive a reward without measure. Think about that. Without measure, no limit, no calculator. You'll be watching others on Judgment Day get their scrolls. And your rewards won't even fit in a scroll. because you waited when no one saw. But what happens when you lose patience? When you lose patience, you rush into sin. You start comparing. You stop praying. You start complaining. You forget the akhirah. Shaitan doesn't care if you sin immediately. He just wants to make you impatient. Because once your sabr cracks, your entire soul becomes exposed. Right now you might be being ignored by people you love, not getting the job you've been working for, battling an addiction quietly, waiting for your rizq, or feeling like Allah's distant. But listen, silence from Allah is not absence. It is preparation. The delay is not a denial. The silence is not rejection. It's training. You're in the gym of the soul. And sabr is the weight you're lifting. Every single day. Still confused what sabr actually looks like? Sabr is praying Fajr even if you slept 3 hours. Sabr is not checking your phone during Salah. Sabr is lowering your gaze when the fitna walks by. Sabr is deleting their DM. Sabr is smiling at your parents when your mood is off. Sabr is finishing the surah you started, even when your mind wanders. Sabr is staying single when the haram is easy. Sabr is not giving up on Allah when life feels empty. Sabr is doing the hard thing because it's right, not because it feels good. Let me remind you again what's waiting for those who are patient. Indeed, the patient will be given their reward without account. And paradise will be brought near to the righteous, not far. This is what you were promised for everyone who was mindful and kept patience. So be patient. Indeed, the promise of Allah is true. Now you're thinking, how do I build sabr? Here's your strategy. Fix your salah, anchor your soul, fast often, build resistance to your nafs, dua, beg Allah for sabr. Even the Prophet used to ask, Oh Allah, make me among the patient. Silence, talk less, reflect more. Gratitude. Sabr and shukr are twins. The more grateful you are, the easier sabr becomes. Remember death, the final door. It makes every pain feel small. Patience isn't passive. It's the strongest, most violent act of resistance in Islam. Because while the world reacts, you rise. So the next time your nafs says, it's too much, you can't take it anymore, you tell it, my Lord is watching and His help is coming. And then you wait, like the prophets waited, with your forehead on the ground and your heart fixed on the throne. So be patient. Truly the end belongs to the righteous.